we are going to talk about 5 baby steps you can take starting right now to make big changes in your life over time. Yesterday, we talked about how important it is to break things down into smaller pieces when we have big dreams and goals because of the overwhelm and really the feelings that get ignited when we start to have those thoughts, and then they become barriers to making progress. So, I want you to begin to think about a big goal or dream that you have for your life, but for whatever reason, you haven't made it happen just yet. And then listen to these 5 things and begin to figure out how you can apply them starting right now today. Okay, are you ready? Number 1, you've already done really hard things. Okay, I want you to scan through your life and consider the accomplishments that you have had so far throughout your life. If you've had children, then you've literally created, grown, and birthed other human beings into the world. That is not to be taken lightly. And if you've done it multiple times, then you are a superhero. If you've gotten through high school, college, or beyond, if you have done professional things in your life, if maybe you've gotten to the other side of divorce or a major loss in your life, you have accomplished and survived many hard things already. Okay, however old you are, you have lived long enough to have had many accomplishments. I want you to take stock of those things and honor how far you have come in certain areas. Maybe you've been on a weight loss journey. Maybe you've run a marathon, or you started a business, or maybe you helped one of your children get through a really difficult time. I want you to feel some pride that comes with making those things happen in your life and having those wins. Okay, so acknowledging the past successes is a huge part of taking a baby step towards pursuing your new dreams. It's helpful to look back on that log and that sort of inventory and remind yourself that you have already done really hard things, often many times. Number 2 is to consider your current plate. You're a busy woman. You probably have a lot of responsibilities like children, partners, jobs, maintaining a home, all the things. No matter who you are, there is likely a lot on your plate. And sometimes we go through ages and stages with this, right? Sometimes we have times that are very busy and full. Sometimes we have times when there's a little bit of space. Wherever you are today, I want you to just evaluate your current plate, if you will. Take a look at all of it. Write down your daily schedule. Do an inventory and really understand where you're spending every minute of your day. Sometimes this is really challenging for a lot of us because we discover that we waste a lot of time during the day, right? And sometimes we feel bad about that, or it creates some guilt in us. I don't want you to go there. I just want you to begin to notice it. Take an inventory of your day. For me, this is really about where are the moments, like waiting to pick up kids at a sporting event, or kind of mindless scrolling on social media. It's not that either of those things is bad, but how could we begin to use some of our time a little bit differently? You can't work with what you don't know. So having a real identification of how all of your minutes are spent will help you to see where you can make some changes. You want to look at what can be removed or changed. Where are there a few minutes? Where are there a few dollars, etc.? Really take an inventory of your time. If you find yourself always waiting for someone a few times a week, then how can you use that time and engage in an activity that moves you towards your goal? Maybe it's in your evening downtime. Instead of TikTok scrolling, you could read articles that pertain to your dream, or learn how other people have achieved what you want to pursue. Or maybe purchase a cute new fitness outfit online to use for your workout tomorrow. Everyone has wasted time somewhere. We just tend to fill it up, and so it doesn't feel like we have time, but it's in there, trust me. And when you totally understand your daily schedule, you can then be very intentional about using those specific minutes for value added activities towards your goals. Number 3 is connect with your why. It is critical for you to know why you want this thing. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to become a manager, a nursing student, a mom, a partner? This is the peeling of the onion type of exercise. It's not just one single answer. When you ask yourself why you want this from a kind of high up 30,000-foot view, you're going to get a general answer. And then I want you to drill down layer after layer after layer. Why do you want that? Okay, great. Then why do you want that? Do it again and again until you get to some real core beliefs. Okay, it might take multiple layers, right? Things like, because I want to prevent my sickness, I want to prevent sickness and disease that's in my control. Maybe you want to have the kind of health that can support your grandkids. Maybe you want to love yourself because you want to be the kind of person who finishes what they start. Maybe you want to be the kind of person that can be an example for other people in your life. Knowing your particular why helps you to stay on course in the rough patches that come when we're working towards a goal. And they will come. We will have days when we are too tired, when we are sick, when we just don't feel like it, right? And connecting with the why of your change is going to be what drives you forward. So you can look at all of these reasons and then remind yourself why you even started this thing in the first place, and then keep going. Number 4 is backing into the timeline. Your goal has a timeline, just like anything else in the world, right? Meaning, unless you are already an elite athlete, you can't decide that you want to just go out and run a marathon today, right? And then go out tomorrow and do it. Most of us can't do that. No, it really takes a lot of time to prepare and learn and then train for that. How much time depends on a variety of factors, where you currently are in your fitness journey, or how much experience do you have? Which race do you want to run? When is it actually in the calendar? How fast do you want to run it in? And how much time do you have to train? This is just one example, and it's an easy one to use because most of us can kind of understand it, even if you're not a runner. But you can plug in whatever your goal is. But let's just, for our example, say that you want to run a marathon within the next year. You find one that is like maybe 9 or 12 months out, and you get a training plan for that amount of time. And when you look at it, you can see where you should be according to the plan at about like 6 months from race day, 3 months from race day, 1 month, all the way until your goal. So then you can reverse that and back into it all the way to today. So no, you probably can't go out and run a marathon today, and you may not even be able to run, a mile. But you sure can go out and get a cute outfit and get fitted for an appropriate pair of shoes and then prepare for your first run tomorrow. Right? Do you see how that works? Do you see how that baby step, if done consistently over time, is going to lead you to the marathon? Now, again, how much time it takes for you to pursue that goal is going to be personal and dependent on a variety of factors. You've got to give yourself grace in that and be realistic, but you also need to have the timeline so you can back into it to see what are the things you can literally do today that, even though it seems like kind of a nothing, or that it's not going to really work towards getting you to the marathon, it is if you do it over time. Okay? Number 5 is live as if. This is a popular cliche, but has a huge impact when you're trying to make personal transformations. You are in charge, okay? Your brain can't distinguish between your fantasies and what is actually happening in the real world. So you want to build an identity of yourself as someone who has already made the changes or accomplishments that you desire. So this, combined with consistent actions you put into place, will lead you to your new reality. This is how it works, right? We really can step into this identity of our future self. So take this a step further and create maybe a vision board, or a poster if you want, or a collage on your phone, or however you want to do this to build out your, or maybe even a journal or a book where you can cut and paste things or write messages to yourself, creating that new identity. You can add photos or words, memorabilia, really whatever is going to help you make this person a new reality and place it where you're going to see it regularly and kind of be in there on a daily basis. You want to be able to be in contact with that new identity very regularly. Because then your brain is going to continue to believe as you work this and you're consistently taking the actions that this is your reality. And you begin to live as if. So these 5 things are steps that you can take right now. They're small micro steps that are going to create little wins consistently over time and help you to build out that beautiful dream, goal, or future that you want. If this is starting to feel like something that you really are being stirred up about, like you can feel the movement in your mind and in your body towards things that you really want to pursue, that's amazing. And so the next step for you might be the Sober Freedom Transformation. It's a one-on-one coaching opportunity where you and I get to work together very specifically around emotional sobriety goals and habit forming that's going to lead you to this next place. If you want to learn more about it, you can click the link below or send me a DM and I'm happy to chat. I'll talk to you guys soon.